Hello, and welcome to Geometry with Trigonometry 2020-2021 school year. My name is Mr. Mark Hensley, and I will be your son or daughter's teacher for this course for this year. I just wanted to take a few minutes to welcome you and introduce myself a little bit, and then talk briefly about the course that they are enrolled in this year. But first, a little bit about myself. I was born in April of 1984. I was born in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago. I actually grew up about a half mile away from Midway Airport. I grew up a lifelong Cubs fan. I'm a big Cubs fan. They're definitely my team, even though I grew up on the south side. I went to St. Lawrence High School. It's in Burbank, Illinois, about 10 minutes southwest of Midway Airport. Then I went to college. For my undergrad, I went to North Central College in Naperville. I graduated from there in 2006 with my master's degree, and I got my teaching certificate from there as well. Then I went back to college to get a master's degree. I went to Lewis University and graduated from there in 2010 with a master's in instructional technology. Then I continued my education by going to American College of Education. I graduated with a second master's degree from there in 2013. That degree was in curriculum and instruction. I started working at Glenbard North in August of 2007, so this is my 14th school year teaching math at Glenbard North. These are the three classes I'm teaching this year: multivariable calculus, geometry, and pre-calculus. This is my 13th year teaching geometry. I also taught it for 9 years during the summer, so really this is my 22nd time going through the geometry curriculum. So easy to say, I know the curriculum pretty well. A little bit about myself. This is some things I told my students in the first day. So my full name is Mark Hensley. They can call me Mr. Hensley, or of course Mr. H is fine as well. I live with my wife and my two kids. I have a 5-year-old son and a 2-month-old daughter. We do not have any pets at the house. My main interests are music and sports. I used to love going to concerts before we weren't allowed to anymore. And baseball, hockey, and golf are the sports I really enjoy. I do enjoy playing video games when I can in my very limited spare time. And of course, my big interest there is math. My favorite movie I've ever seen is called A Few Good Men. It's a very good movie from the, I believe, 90s. You see a couple TV shows there that I watched and really enjoyed. And an interesting thing about me is during quarantine last spring, I taught myself how to complete a Rubik's Cube. And I can usually do it now in about a minute and a half, sometimes closer to 2 minutes. So my big concern about this remote learning thing that we're doing is not being able to get to know my students and form the relationships that I'm used to forming. My big strength as a teacher is forming good relationships with my students, and that's something that I'm a little concerned about not being able to do if I'm not seeing them every day in a classroom. I'm going to try my hardest to continue to do that and get the information out to them. Obviously, learning is important as well, but I want to make sure that I get to know them and I form a good relationship with all of my students. So a little bit about the class. So here's our homepage for class here. You can see the top is Zoom links. That's how they access our Zoom every day. And then down here, each chapter has its own folder. These are all the chapters we'll expect to get to here in the first semester. But what I wanted to focus on here is our syllabus. So this is on our Schoology page. They need their own calculator. They should have a TI-30 or a TI-84, one of those two. The TI-30 is only like $12. The TI-84 is much more expensive, but much more useful. My expectations for them, you can see there, I just basically expect them to be a good student. I want them to be there every day, on time, learning, practicing, and communicating with me when they need help. Attendance, they should be there every day. They should be doing their homework. Their homework is mandatory for learning. I don't accept late work because I usually give them a week to do it. They have a week to get it in, and they have to show every problem is completed. And there's the grading for this course: 60% assessments, 40% work habits. That's basically, are they showing up to class on time, being engaged in class, working during class, doing their homework, and their finals were 10% of their grade. And lastly, the teacher contact information. That's how you can get a hold of me. email is definitely preferred. I check my email often. So if you want to contact me for any reason, if you have questions about anything or just concerns about anything, please do not hesitate to contact me. And there's an underscore between the C and the H there. So it's mark_Hensley@glenbard.org. And I will get back to you as soon as I can, usually within 24 hours. So that's all I got for today. Thank you very much for checking in. I'm hopeful that this is a good school year. I know it's a little different than normal, but I think learning can still happen. If you ever have concerns, just let me know. Okay? Have a great day and looking forward to a great year in geometry with trigonometry.